Good morning. Hello. Okay, so as you're my main viewer, so I will do analysis now for you. So what do I expect from price now is I'm interested in this level right here, which is 3,300 roughly. This is a weekly sell side liquidity. Now on the weekly time frame, you can see that price after price has done a manipulation, and yesterday price did not respect this resistance that potentially could become the support. With the news from from today and yesterday that there was a ceasefire between the Israel and Iran. Now price is going to the downside because the gold is a safe haven asset, which means that if there is everything is all right around the world, then gold will move down, and whenever there is a tensions, global tensions, then price will go up. So with information from yesterday that price where was that? Uh, there was the news that there is a ceasefire between the countries, right? So what I would expect for price to do is obviously to go to this sell side liquidity because this is a CRT on the weekly time frame. Now I would expect for price to go to the sell side liquidity on the weekly time frame, which is roughly at 3,300 levels. Now on the daily time frame, you can see that price just simply going down with a strong bearish candle, which means that the price is bearish at the moment. And on the 4-hour time frame, also you can see that price is has it moved down, very sharp move, one-sided to the downside. So, and to be honest with you, I'm not going to look for sells unless price creates the range for me and sweeps the buy side liquidity. Or on the 1-hour time frame, for example, now if price does close like strong bearish candle, right, and it doesn't go to the downside to sweep the sell side liquidity before the like 10 a.m., then I will probably look for something like, imagine this is the range I'm gonna trade. So if price does sweep the buy side liquidity, then I will look for sells. Or on the 1-hour time frame, if price creates something like this, the clean candle, and then on the 1-hour time frame with the new 4-hour candle, price does sweep the buy side liquidity on the 1-hour time frame, then probably I will look for sells to the downside. Now if price until 10 a.m., because we have the news at 10 a.m. In New York session, NY time, and if we until 10 a.m. push to the downside to the 3,300 levels to the sell side liquidity, which is on the weekly time frame, then I will potentially look for buys to the I will look for buys, because if we're pushing down, then eventually price has to retrace, right? So this is what I'm going to wait for. So so mostly what I'm looking for now is buys, because uh, unless price comes to the upside first, then sweeps the liquidity from the buy side, and then obviously I will probably look for the sells. Now if price just keeps pushing down, then I will probably look for buys if there is any opportunities. And so but what I would expect for price to do is I would expect for price to sweep the sell side liquidity. Now we also have the sell side liquidity right here, which price can which price can come down to and go up from here. So uh, this is kind of rough session because we have one-sided move. So I would love to see buys. I would love to look for buys, to be honest with you, from around these levels right here. So where is my tool? So around these levels right here, I would look for retracement buys before price can continue down. If price to continue down, if they're not going to release some news that related to tensions around the world. So in that case, if they do release those news, then eventually price may continue to the upside. If they don't do that, or even if they do that, around those levels, that could be very well the then use for the retracement to the upside, to retest around these levels, and then from here look for continuation to the downside. Now, so it just becomes again just waiting game. Just have to wait for price to set up. So I will wait for the 4-hour candle closure, and then I will look for what price does at a 10 a.m. I don't know, maybe we will get something before 10 a.m. but I will see, because on the left hand side you can see that price already did sweep this sell side liquidity, already sweep this the sell side liquidity. So yeah, and price did not react from those levels, so most likely price will come lower. So yeah, I'm going to wait for price to sweep, to go to the downside first, to sweep the sell side liquidity, and then look for the buys. Or if price does create the range, closes strong candle, then sweep the buy side liquidity first, and then I will look for potential sells. So it all depends on the 4-hour range that it creates and which side of liquidity it does sweep first, right? So looking at the chart, you can say that you are bearish, right? You are bearish on the daily, you are bearish on the weekly, you are bearish on the 4-hour time frame. But whenever you have those bearish moves, you can't, price just can't go straight to the downside, right? All the way down. It has to have some retracement, right? So most likely, if I will take the trade today, I will try to catch the retracement to the upside, which is which can be a good move, because it can be anywhere from 200 to like 300 or 400 pips. So we will see what price can provide us today. So yeah, I have to wait. Alright, so the waiting game begins now. Also, whenever you have the the large volume like here, and you have a large candles on the 1-hour time frame, then obviously you can, because this 1-hour candle alone is like 160 pips, 160 pips. So you can even trade the 1-hour range whenever price has this large large big volume in the market. So even if price now closes like here, you have a clean range to the upside, right? Why? Because now on the 1 hour time frame, what you have done is you did sweep the sell side liquidity, which is an old low now, which is an old low, and this becomes your becomes your key level. Now you have the clean range on the 1 hour time frame like this one, right? This is a clean candle. Now if the next candle does sweep the sell side liquidity into the higher time frame liquidity like daily and the weekly, then eventually from this level you can look for maybe for potential buys to the 50%, and then eventually to the upside to this candle high before price continues down. So that is also a potential possibility to look for trade on the 1 hour time frame today, because we have a good volume in the markets. It all depends on how candles are closing now. So let's just wait. Let's just wait. 12 minutes until 1 hour candle closure. It's because it suits my time, because I don't have time to trade any other session for now, because I'm still working, and I still have my things to do. So the New York time is the best session I can do for now. In the future, maybe yes, maybe I can do the London session and New York, but at this point I only trade New York session. All right. So what do we have here? So what I'm waiting now is that I want to see if price can reach the sell side liquidity, or I'm waiting for this 4-hour candle closure. Yeah, I'm waiting for the current 4-hour candle closure at 10 a.m. and then I will see how price does set up for the for that session, because we have news. So we have news, and yeah, from there I will potentially look for buys if we can reach to these levels down here. So I will look for retracement buys. looks good. Let's see, like there is like 30 minutes left until 1 hour candle closure and the 4 hour candle closure, so still waiting. price is pushing down. This is what I like to see. You are completely right, because you just need to find what is the most reliable hours for you to trade. Like either you trade London session, New York session. You just choose. You know, you look at your life in general and what time it suits you. So you don't really need to trade every single session, because that way you will most likely like overtrade. Like there is only after some time when you have your complete edge, then you maybe can look for some trades in like different sessions, but for now the New York session is what I did every time. So I don't want to change nothing now. So even though I know that, for example, in London session, you most likely will get the low of the day or the high of the day, right? And you can ride the wave like throughout the whole day, like throughout the New York session, and then um, just you can get good trades in New York session as well. So you just have to wait for them. You just wait for your trade to come to you, and then Alright, so there is a 15 minutes left until the 4-hour candle closure. We have news at 10 a.m. So in like 15 minutes. So what would I expect from price now is that this 4-hour candle close strong bearish, like at the lows, and with the new candle, what I would expect for price to do is go lower, sweep the sell side liquidity from the weekly, and then potentially from here I can look for the retracement, buys, even to these levels right here. Obviously, first of all, I will target the current candle range, which I will trade is you know this candle right here. So I will have it mark up like this. This is my going to be the range which I want to trade, and I will look for buys inside here to the 50% of the range. Then eventually I will look for the opposing side of the range, and then if I still holding some of my position, I will target the this level right here. So it just all depends if price will do that, right? If price does that, then I will execute the trade. Now if price doesn't do that, then there will be most likely no trade for me, because my trading session ends at 11 a.m. in the morning in like 1 hour. So if I will get my position in the next 1 hour, then obviously I will execute it. But if I am not gonna if I don't have the price set up and the time, I mean the right time and the right price, I'm not gonna execute. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm still waiting for the 14 minutes for a candle to close, and I would just want to see how this 4-hour candle closing, because this is very important for me to see how this 4-hour candle closes. And I want it to close strong bearish, so I can have a clean range to trade. So if you look inside this range, this is a 300 pips range, which is pretty good, right? So let's see. Let's just wait. All right. This is the most, this is, I mean, the hardest thing is that when you're waiting for your trade, you just, sometimes get bored, and because of you get bored, sometimes you can take, some trades that that you're not gonna take, like because, for example, you wait for the trade and you see some potential trades and you take it, but uh, it did not touch your key level, or it did not touch your point of interest, and that's how you lose. So when you get bored, then just wait, do something else. So that's why I basically started streaming, because I can answer some questions and just have some fun time while I'm waiting for the trade, which is very important to wait for the trade. Okay, so all right, so this is it's 6 minutes left until the news release, also until 4-hour candle closure. um, Once again, what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for the current candle close, then I will wait for price to sweep the sell side liquidity, and also if price does sweep sell side liquidity from the weekly time frame, then this is will be a potential good opportunity for look for buys. Now again, what range I'm gonna trade? I'm gonna trade this 4-hour range, which is 300 pips. So first of all, I'm going to target the 50% of the range, then I will target the opposing side of the range, and then eventually, if there is if I'm not going to close full my position at opposing side of the range, then I will most likely will hold until price reaches this level right here. Now, why I'm saying that right here, that I may close the trade right at the opposing side of the range, is because price is in the heavy bearish trend. So that's why even if price moves to the 50% of this candle range from the lows right here, it is still like 160 pips. Right here is like 300 pips, so it's still good pips, right? So and also, this is going to be the 10 a.m. New York time, and as you know, or may not know, that at 10 a.m. in the morning there is you know a lot of times, or most of the times, or maybe usually, okay, usually price does do retracements either to the upside or to the downside, depending on the range. So today I'm expecting a retracement to the upside, and if I'm looking for buys, it doesn't mean I'm bullish. Okay, I'm just looking for a retracement buys, because I know that price is in a bearish trend, right? So but price is expanded so much on the 4-hour time frame that it's just inventable to price, for, I mean, price has to retrace at some point, and this is where I'm looking at. This is a good area for price to start retracing to the upside. This is a very good area. So this is why I would like I would look for trade. So this is going to be your CRT high. Now this is going to be a CRT high. So this is going to be a CRT low. So Now I will mark up the 50% of the range, which is right here. This is a 50% of the range. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on the lower time frame because I established my higher time frame already, right? Now I'll go on the lower time frame, such as 5 minutes. The 5 minutes or like 3 minutes is the lowest time frame I will go whenever I trade a 4-hour range. And then what I am going to wait here is obviously I will wait for price to I will wait for price to go down, sweep sell side liquidity, sweep sell side liquidity. You know, I will I will look for a bullish PD array like an order block, or a inversion fair value gap, or a busy or bullish fair value gap, and from here I will look for potential trade to the 50% of the range, and then I will see if price, because we can see that we have buy side liquidity here, I will see if price can reach that, and obviously I will just move my stop loss to break even as soon as I probably hit the 50% of the range, and then eventually I will target the opposing side of the range. So this is how I would approach my trade today. Only if price does that. If price doesn't do that, then obviously I'm not gonna take the trade, and that's it. But this is what I'm waiting for now. I'm not looking for sells at the current prices. Why? Because price expanded to the downside so much that it has to have some of some kind of retracement on the higher time frame, such as like 4-hour time frame. Obviously on the 1-hour time frame you can see that price pushed down, pull back, push down, the range, push down, and now on the 4-hour time frame you can see that price just pushed to the downside. So even though I would expect for the current daily candle to leave some of the wick, okay, I will expect for price to leave the wick, so tomorrow price can fill that wick, okay, to the downside, so price can have the range to trade. So this is how I approach the markets, guys. Pretty simple, I would say. Pretty simple method to trade, and very all right, 1 minute left. 4-hour candle, looking good, looking good. So looking good. Why? Because the body is bigger than the wicks. Okay, so the wicks here is like 100 pips, the body right here is like 170 pips. So I would say that this is a healthy candle, this is a good range candle which I can trade, obviously if price does sweep the sell side liquidity. All right, so we have a 4-hour candle closure. Now price starting to push down, which I like to see, and I want for price to go to the sell side liquidity to sweep that. So there is a news release. There is a news release. All right. I want for price to go down to sweep sell side liquidity before price going up. So at this point, what I want to see is that if price can, by the end of this 1 hour candle, sweep the sell side, and then eventually look for potential buys to this level, and then eventually to this level. Now, if price doesn't do that, price just simply goes, sweeps the liquidity, and then eventually I'm not gonna take any trades, because that would be, after my session. My session ends in 1 hour from now at 11 a.m. NY time. So I will see if in the next 1 hour price will show me willingness to go down first, take the sell side liquidity, and then eventually look for potential upside. Why? Once again, is because, as you can see on the 4 hour candle, price expanded to the downside so much that it did not had any retracement. Like right here, look at here, price pushed to the downside, eventually price hit the level right here. You had an order block with the fair value gap, price hit the level, and from here price had pushed to the upside on the 4 hour time frame. So same I would expect here. Obviously I'm not expecting for the massive move to the upside, but if price can first of all, I'm going to trade a 4 hour candle, which I have marked right here, which is the previous 4 hour candle, which is the range for me now. And as you can see now, this is a range low, range high, and the 50% of it. Now I will wait for price to sweep the low, then go to the 50%, and eventually maybe for opposing side of the range, because on the 4 hour candle, on the 4 hour time frame, what you could expect is that price can easily go to the upside to this level right here. Okay, so, and from there obviously price can just go to the downside. But well, if price comes to these to the range high, then obviously I will most likely look for sells. So let's see. Obviously, if price doesn't go, if price doesn't come back to the lows right here, then obviously price can, if you look on the 4-hour candle, then you can see that the previous 4-hour candle did close as a strong one. So you can still look for the, for the downside move to sweep this sell side liquidity from the weekly, right? But as I said, for me to take buys, you know, I'm not gonna take buys now. The only way I am taking buys if price does come back here and then shows me willingness to go up, right? Now, if price goes up, then obviously, and if the price does not reach the range high, that just can, price can later on push to the downside. So in that case, I'm not gonna take the trade because that would be over my session, and yeah. Alrighty. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask while I'm here. I have like 20 or 30 minutes more, and then I will close the stream. So So why I'm not gonna take any trades inside here right now is because we are in the range. So what is the candle range theory, guys? The candle range theory is that every candle is a range, okay? Every single candle you see, like daily, weekly, monthly, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute, doesn't matter. It's like it is a range, okay? So we are inside the 4 hour range, which is from the previous candle now, and until the price does sweep the range high or range low, I'm not gonna take any trade because I want to move with the liquidity. So whenever price does sweep the range high or range low, then eventually price does sweep the liquidity. Obviously, it does. I have to see like more things in there, like entry confirmation, my pattern to trade, like any bullish PD array or bearish PD array, right? Order blocks, fair value gaps, inversion fair value gaps, and all that stuff. Now, why I'm not gonna take the trade inside here without any, price, without sweeping the liquidity, is because price can move either way. Okay, now inside the range, price can move up and also can move down. So that's why I'm waiting for price to sweep either side of the liquidity. I mean range high or range low. So, and at that point, I'm gonna look for a trade. So this is how I do trade. This is this is strictly how I trade, guys. So, and also I do these live streams is because I'm bored, guys. Because I'm bored when I'm waiting for my trade. So simple as that. And while I'm waiting for the trade, you have the opportunity to ask me a questions related to trading, and I will try to answer them. And yeah, we will try to have some fun time. All right. So how did I? If you are wondering how did I get this weekly sell side liquidity, so if you look on the weekly time frame, you can clearly see that you have a range right here created by on the weekly time frame. So you have a range high right here, and then you have a range low. So in previous weekly candle did sweep the range high. Now we also have a buy side liquidity right here. Price did sweep the buy side liquidity, created the range. Now previous weekly candle did manipulate the range and closed strongly inside it. Now, with all the things, with all the things that going around the world, with the geopolitical tensions, I mean, what I mean by that is that with the most recent news that there is a ceasefire going on now between the countries that are fighting, right? So, as the gold is the safe haven asset, then the gold, whenever there is a tensions around the globe, then most likely then gold is going up because this is a safe haven, and money goes from risky assets like cryptocurrency stocks to the safe haven like gold, right? Whenever there is a nothing happens in the world, then obviously price is moving to the downside. Why? Because money goes from the safe haven assets like gold going to the risky assets like cryptocurrencies and stock markets and all that stuff. So Well, I was waiting for price to I was waiting for price to go lower, you know, to sweep this sell side liquidity right here and also touch the key level on the weekly. So from here I can look for potential buys to the upside. Now, at this point, what is happening is that you can see that prices, you know, created a range on the 4-hour candle and closed strongly bearish, right? Below the previous candle range, which is price did close below the range. Now, if price, you know, whenever price did not, what I mean is now price did not push to the downside how I wanted at the beginning of the candle to look for the buys. What price is doing now, you know, price can easily come to the 50% and then go lower. But if price does that, then eventually, you know, I'm gonna miss the trade because that may come after my session. So what I wanted to do for price is at the beginning of the candle I wanted for price to go lower, obviously, but that did not happen, and so I'm waiting like 20 more minutes. If there is nothing happens, then I will close the stream because most likely I'm not gonna take any trades today. Even if price does go, you know, to the upside from here, like it can go to the upside, I'm not gonna take this trade, and I'm not looking for trade because price did not do what I wanted to do. Because what I wanted to do for price is go down first and then look for the trade. Even well, we will see, because we have 20 more minutes, so we will see how price does set up for the for the for the hourly for the 4-hour candle in 20 minutes. If I see something, then yeah, most likely. What I mean if I see something is that if price does come back here and shows me the willingness to go to the upside after sweeping the sell side liquidity here. So yeah, this is what I'm waiting for. I'm going to be back in a minute. Hello Tahir, and welcome. Welcome. If you're first time here, you're welcome. And guys, listen. Whenever there is a trade, trust me, I will enter the trade whenever there is a in a good trade. This is, yes, you're correct. This is a 5 a.m. 4-hour range. Now, for some of you, you may see the different candles is because I'm using because I'm not using Oanda. Okay. Now I'm using a FXCM. So I'm using FXCM, so that's why you most likely see the different candles, okay? And yes, this is a 5 a.m. range on the 4-hour candle. So what I wanted to say, guys, is that whenever there will be a trade, so I will enter the trade, and because I don't want to enter any, I want to enter the correct trades, okay? I want to enter the trade which I know that most likely will go to my take profits, and there will be a trades, there will be good trades, trust me, because but you just have to wait for them, okay? You just have to wait for your trade. Most likely on the Oanda, yes, it is taken, but as I'm using FXCM, you know, I found out that FXCM is, for me, works better. Like, it is a, you know, I tried one, then I tried FXCM, so I found out that FXCM works better for me. So what you mean, on the one though, right here you can see that 4-hour low is taken. You're correct. So let's see this candle 100 pips, and this is a. I mean, you just have to look for yourself, okay? But for me, you know, as I'm using FXCM, I'm just, you know, going for with it. You can just backtest, you know, you can take two charts, like FXCM and Wanda, which are different in the time in the candle closing, right? And what you can do is you just take the fib, you just take the so you take the fib, this one, fib time zone, right? You take the fib time zone. For example, you go in the 4-hour candles. This is your, for example, 10 a.m. candle right here. So you go from 10 a.m. to the most recent 10 a.m. candle. So right here, and to the left hand side, you can see that it will mark up every 10 a.m. candle, every single 10 a.m. candle. Now, with that information from here, you can go at 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. and you just go in the, you know, in the time to the left hand side and basically backtesting the 4-hour candles, and you do that with the same on Wanda chart, right? And you just look when on which time frame you can see the cleaner, you know, the cleaner candles, because if you look on the Wanda, sometimes there is a gaps, you know, on the daily. You can see that it looks like it doesn't look very great, okay, on the daily time frame. When on FXCM, the daily candles are pretty clean and pretty, you know, printed pretty clean, what I mean by that. So this is the difference for me, okay? But that on FXCM, the candles are cleaner. You don't have those obvious like price action like here. You can see right here. So that's why I'm using the FXCM. It just you know, I can see clearer, and it's just better for my eyes. That's it, nothing else. Because at the end of the day, price will move with the right time, okay? Price is not gonna move without the right time. Whenever there is a right time, obviously there will be a right price, and then price will move. So you have to know, guys, very important thing, that price is always over the, I mean, time is always over the price. So time and then price, okay? Time and then price. You go with the, for example, if you take the trade, for example, very good example, I think everybody knows that Or maybe you heard, for example, that this is me, or this is right, this is me, and this is like another guy. Okay, we're both buying the, for example, gold at a 3,000 price. Okay, we're both buying at 3,000 price. Now, when I bought the price at 3,000, price moved to the downside immediately, and I just lost. And whenever the another guy bought at 3,000, price went to the upside straight away. So we both buying at a same price, but we did at the different time. So this is very good example, like we both buying at the same price, but the time is different. That's why whenever I buy at a 3,000, price goes down, because I buying at the wrong time, when the another guy buying at the same price, 3,000, but in the right time, and price goes immediately to the upside. So whenever you look at the price, guys, you also have to look at the time. If the time is right, then the price will move. Okay, so this is very good example. This is a very good example, guys. So what I mean by time is that there is a specific kill zones, like London session, New York session, Asian session. And for example, if the Asian session pushing to the specific level, then from that level at a Asian session there will be a good move. At the same thing with the New York session. For example, you can see that price pushed to the downside with the New York session, and whenever price does sweep the sell side liquidity here, then most likely price will go to the upside. So you just have to be a right timing, and then price. All right, 15 more minutes, and I most likely will finish the stream, because I don't think I will get any trades today. What time range do you expect price to purge the liquidity and the invalidation time? What do you mean by that? You mean what time do I expect to price to sweep the liquidity? Well, whenever you have the range, uh, and for me, what I like to see that if price does it at the beginning of the candle, okay. Um, I like whenever price does close like strong candle right here as a bearish one, for example, that can be on the bullish trend as well, but no, I will take it as an example now, bearish candle. So I would love to price at the beginning of this of the candle to go down, and then for a price to go up, okay, at the beginning of the candle. Now if price does that later in the session, obviously you have to look what time it does it, okay. Maybe it does it in the New York PM session, okay, later on. Maybe it does it in the Asian session. So, and also you have to look at the at that time how price, because for example, if this current candle does not sweep the range high or range low, then this range is still valid, guys, okay. So this range is gonna be still valid, and whenever price comes to the upside or to the downside, you look for buys or you look for sells. Obviously you have to look how how price does set up on the lower time frame for you to take the trade, because if price goes to the upside from here to the range high, obviously at that point you would want to look for something like a market structure shift, because price is going to be in the bullish trend, right? So on the lower time frame, what I mean by that. And then obviously when you are looking for a market structure shift, or in changing the state of delivery. So whenever you look for the sweep at the beginning of the candle, okay, whenever you look at that, then obviously you already have the sell side liquidity right here. So if price would break the low, and then eventually you can look for buys with only like if you look here for a inversion fair value gap, or you look for a order block. So same up here, you would look for a market structure shift, and then you look for a bearish PD array, like fair value gap or a order block, whatever. One moment. So did I answer your question, or you have more questions? Because guys, I have like 10 more minutes and I'm going to close the stream. So if you have some questions, I can try to answer them now, and if you don't, then you can come back tomorrow with questions and ask me some more. Oh. Also, when you're using this, this is very good tool, this a time fib zone, because whenever you place, on every 10 a.m. candle, then you can look, and this is very, simplistic way to backtest, because you can see whenever there was a good, 4-hour candle that did manipulation and eventually pushed to the opposing side of the range, right? So I use it frequently whenever I backtest, and it helps me a lot. Trust me, it helps a lot. So No problem. No problem at all. I mean, there is no difference, okay? There is no difference between them. It just like, you know, as I said, I'm using the FXCM only because this is I can see the price action. Like for me, it's clearly more clear because, as I said, on the one, the sometimes you have a very ugly candles, okay, and that's why that's why I like to use FXCM. So, alright then, guys. I will be finishing my stream. So, thank you for coming. And I'm doing the live streams every day, unless it's bank holiday, because I don't trade the bank holidays, right? So, unless it's not bank holiday day, then I will trade every day from Monday to Friday. So, if you have some questions, if you want to have some fun, you're bored while you're waiting for your trade or whatever, you just can join me and we can have some fun. We can talk about the trading and all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next one. That would be tomorrow. So once again, thank you and see you in the next one.